So there was a rumor floating around a little while ago that Tatiana Maslany filmed a whole bunch of scenes for Deadpool and Wolverine, and that she got cut. She got cut from the film, and she was really, really angry, and she was going to sue Disney. Now, there's some important context about all of this because these rumors don't come from absolutely anywhere. The likelihood is that she probably did film some scenes actually for Deadpool and Wolverine, and they probably were cut actually.
Yeah.
Much in the way that there's probably a lot of stuff which was cut, right? However, in terms of her suing Disney, her being angry and things like that, it's not exactly like she hasn't been vocal about her disdain for Disney. She went on record and spoke about how they don't pay her enough, and Disney Plus should have paid her more money for the abysmal failure that was She-Hulk. So there's no smoke without fire, right? So these rumors do come from somewhere, and this screams, in my eyes, of raging cope, basically. So have you heard about any of this rumor?
Oh,
Not
yeah.
this update, but did you hear the rumor? What did you think at the time?
I thought she was silly to go after any kind of a suit or chasing down some kind of a glory piece or trying to get added to the deleted scenes on the DVD or whatever, or Blu-ray or whatnot, digital release. I think it was largely her just needing to remind Marvel that she stepped out for them, and she felt like she deserved compensation after canceling a show that they probably told her would have multiple seasons. She was probably also told that she was going to be part of an Avengers team, and that has yet to happen. So she's just trying to maintain relevance. I mean, between this and the Brie Larson news that dropped today, I'm just not surprised. Brie is kind of signaling through her management that she needs to be in the newest adventure films for the Marvels because she's one of the few viable female characters that's left in the MCU.
Right.
So she kind of made a stinky. She wants to be paid. She wants to be a billionaireess, that kind of thing. Seriously.
Well, I mean, look, only if she wears this the whole time, this white top, or the black top. Have a game for that. No, anyway. All right, sure, fine. So look, we got this news. Let me just move on to this crap. So basically, she was on a podcast and she was asked about whether she would share any MCU gossip. And she says, look, I was in Deadpool and Wolverine. I had 2 scenes in it. And then Ryan Reynolds fired me from the show because he said, I don't like these scenes. Now I'm suing Disney. I always talk about how much I hate Wolverine and Deadpool. I talk about it all the time. I also wish I'd just sit down and stop pushing my feminist agenda and just realize that Deadpool and Wolverine made a lot of money and She-Hulk only made $3. That's why they were getting rid of me, because I had this woke agenda and I really wanted to bring it into the movie. So, obviously, she's pieing it off as sarcasm and, she's joking. There's a few things to sort of break down with it, to be honest. She-Hulk didn't make $3. It made in fact -dollars for Disney. It in fact lost money for Disney because it cost so much money. And no subscribers would have joined to watch She-Hulk. And that's why there's been no word of a second season. This was released in 2022. If this was remotely a hit, we would have had word of a sequel, by now, a follow-up, a season 2. So this is not, again, to talk about, it's like gaslighting, isn't it, basically? It's trying to hang a lantern on her, her sort of anger about it all. But, when she's like, oh, She-Hulk only made $3. Well, it made less than $3. Like, it was quite literally in the deficit. Nothing. Lost money. And talking about feminist agenda, and woke agenda and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, obviously she's joking about Deadpool and Wolverine and potentially being cut, but I think she probably did film some scenes, and I think that they were probably cut, to be honest. Like I said, there's no smoke without fire. But so these are this is her I don't know. It just screams like Cope to me. To be honest, it just screams. Yeah, it just screams Cope. What do you think? Let me get
No,
your thoughts on all this.
no, I'm with you. It's incredible, Cope. I mean, like you said, she's just trying to justify her character existing and perhaps existing in the future, and perhaps her continuing to get paid roles. I mean, think about the massive step down she took now that she's going to be featured in season 1 of some stupid Star Trek show that's in production right now. So, Fleet Academy, she's supposed to be the guest star on that thing. My original commentary around that was, lady, suffer. I mean, because she put herself into obscurity. She should not have come out as hard in the paint as she did, knowing full well what the character was going to do and divide the audience. They literally attacked the audience with that show. She didn't think there would be ramifications there. Sometimes in Hollywood, if you play a character that people roundly are disgusted by, and you sometimes don't get roles again. It really is important for you to have good public relations. She destroyed any of that goodwill as well. I spoke.
Well, they all did, didn't they? Actually, to be honest,
Yeah.
They all kept coming out and saying stuff because there was that writer on it who was an absolute penis.
The pow chick or cow chick or cacao chick or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, she was a one episode or something, or a few episode writer for Rick and Morty, right? Am I mistaken or something?
That's the one. That was Marvel's bizarre phase where they just hired Rick and Morty writers for most of their stuff. It was so bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Rick and Morty phase. So weird.
Yeah. It look, it's infuriating, and I just, I'm just tired of it. And it's coming from notice how all of this is MCU. This show so far has been MCU disaster after MCU disaster.
Yeah.
So it's appropriately titled. And look, don't go out of your way to piss off the fans. Don't. Anyway.
Yeah. I bet you she was promised similar things to like Brie Larson.
That's what I'm saying.
She must have been. Like, oh, you'll get loads of stuff. Yeah, you're gonna be an Avenger. You're gonna be in this. You're gonna be in that. This show's gonna be such a hit. It's gonna keep going on and on and on and on and on. And didn't they? That show as well. Didn't they? Didn't it come out that She-Hulk? They had basically filmed it right up to the wire and were redoing. That's why it looked so bad, because it quite literally wasn't. They didn't have enough time to render everything. We're pretty certain it was revealed that was something which had happened. That they didn't have enough time to render things because they'd worked right up to the wire because they kept changing stuff on the fly. It's like that's not how you do a show that costs $180 million. That's a bad way to do a show that costs $180 million. Oh, that's real bad. But
it's just awful. But she's been griping and grousing about her lack of recognition and pay in Marvel, and her lack of her scenes that she did cut for Deadpool and Wolverine. She's been doing that pretty much everywhere. I think we're on day 4 of this particular version of things.
So funny. I like this article here as well. They're so full of virtue. We didn't report on it. This is the rumor, because the whole thing was fabricated nonsense. It's like, was it though? And how did you know? How did you know it was fabricated? Cope, mate. Cope. Dear, oh dear. Well, there you go. I don't have much else to say on this, really. It just screams of Cope. I doubt we're ever going to see her in a movie. Oh, we might see her in a movie as a cameo, maybe, I guess. Doubtful, though. Do you think we're going to see a movie?
I think we'll see her again at some point, but I don't think she'll be an extensive part of anything. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If they need to do a super virtue signal, they might, get all the Avenger ladies together, all the failed ones, and, do a V scene again, like they did in Endgame.
Gonna
Come
get
on.
Gwyneth Paltrow back.
Yeah. Well, that won't be hard. I mean, I guess her vagina candles aren't selling all that well anymore.
I can't believe that.
Yeah.
What a joke. Those that don't know, Gwyneth Paltrow has like a weird lifestyle brand.
It's called they're called Goop or something like that. Goop.
Yeah.
GOOP.
And there was a vagina candle or some shit.
There was.
So bizarre.
Oh, and the name of that writer was Jessica.
I know what I want to smell all night long in my house. Vagina.
Dude, no, man. Just like seriously, just cook like some salmon or something, in the oven. I'm just saying.
Jesus. Right.
Oh,
anyway.
I'm terrible. Man, that was misogyny. I'm sorry. I apologize for my internalized misogyny.
That was pretty bad.
That's terrible.
Anyway, let's go.
So's fish. Stinky fish in the house.
Smoked haddock.
Smoked that outside. Dude, that's why I barbecue that stuff, man. That's outside. That's outside cooking.
Lovely. Lovely. I just don't eat that stuff.
Fish is good for you. It's got great oils and omega.
No, I like salmon. No, I do like salmon, but don't really eat. Like the fish in this country is well expensive. Everything's really expensive in this country, so it kind of becomes not really worth buying some stuff. Although I do buy a lot of grass-fed beef. Actually, I really do like grass-fed beef.